What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here with this week's episode of Stompbox Saturday, and on the Stompin' Block today we have the Paramount by Emerson Custom. In my opinion, this is an amazing low gain overdrive. There's not a whole lot of gain in this pedal, but what it does do, it does very, very well. Say, like for the top of the video, for example, you got a nice crunchy amplifier. Sounds great, but you need just a little bit more heft and a little bit more hair on top of that already great sound. Well, the Paramount does that in spades, and it does so very simply. 3 controls, just like all the classic overdrives, volume, gain, and tone. You don't really need much more than that. But the real secret is in the way that the overdrive is voiced, and the way that the knobs interact with whatever amp you put it in front of. I particularly think it sounds great in front of British style amplifiers, more so than your American style amplifiers, but it does much more than just boost a dirty tone. So before we get started and dialing in some sounds, I think we should check out what we're working with here. See how much gain's on tap and what this tone knob can do for a basic clean sound. So let's check it out. I'll strum a few chords, we'll turn the knobs. Now that we know what we're working with, let's turn these knobs and find some sounds that we're gonna like. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot of distortion to play a riff. You just need something fairly clean, but with a good amount of grit to it that will make things a little less boring. I think the Paramount does a really great job of adding on just a hair of grit. So I've dialed in something to get me just that. See, not a whole lot of gain on this pedal, but just enough so that those clean riffs pop a little bit more. It's a little bit more exciting and maybe drives the tune just a little bit further than if you played that riff just with a clean tone. A lot of us guitar players like a heavy distorted sound for rhythm guitar, but when it comes to our lead tone, we want to kind of change up the EQ character. We don't typically want to change the gain structure a little too much, maybe just a little bit more on top to help with the sustain and get some musical feedback, but we're looking for something a little bit different in our EQ curve. We need something a little smoother, a little bit more, well, singing, and that's where the Paramount comes in. I've got my normal rhythm sound dialed up and then a setting on the Paramount that's going to help shave off some of the highs and just get me something a little more, well, with a little bit more fuzzy, softer high end. have it, everybody. That is your look at the Paramount by Emerson Custom. I gotta say, low gain overdrives are typically one of those things that I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, if you're gonna have an overdrive pedal, you might as well have a wide variety of gain where you're kind of bordering on a distortion pedal. Like just right where you're like, oh, that's distortion. No, overdrive pedals, I typically like a little bit more range. But the one thing that I can say about the Paramount that is amazing and kind of makes it the Paramount, I think, is that in terms of low gain, this thing does everything you could want a low gain overdrive to do. It gives you a little bit more grit on top of a sound that you already like. You can shape the tone to very simply with just one knob. And it has a fair amount of push from the volume that maybe you don't want too much color from the pedal, you just want a little bit of push. That push pushes exactly how you need it to. And I want to say a big thank you to Mickey at Distortion Brothers for sending me this pedal to check out. I thoroughly enjoyed it and think you guys should add one to your collection. And if you do, you know where to go. Distortion Brothers Guitar Shop, distortionbros.com, or give Mickey a call and he'll help you out. And I want to know what you guys thought of the Paramount. Let me know below in the comments, and if you like this video, be sure to share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more. And until next time, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.
The next thing I know, I'm running for my life.
Cockeyed Optimist.